beginning of Victory Bay. So we opened our doors last year. We're about a year and a half old, so that was February 17th, 2017. Chris and I actually got sober in Arizona in a treatment program very similar to Victory Bay. So that's kind of where everything started.
There was a particular meeting on a Thursday night called the Men's Stag Thursday night, and it was a great meeting. One night in particular, we were in one of the small rooms that we got shuffled into every now and then. It was packed, it was sweaty, it was hot, and a young guy shared. It wasn't the most positive share I've ever heard, but he shared what he was feeling, and what he was feeling wasn't so great. So I did what I was trained to do. I walked up to him after the meeting, and as he was leaving, and I tapped him on the shoulder and introduced myself. I said, "Hello, my name's Brent. What's going on? What's your name? Where are you from?" And we started chatting. And I had seen AJ a couple times before at meetings. I had never met him. He's a good-looking kid. I never really heard him share. So it was, made it a little bit easier for me to introduce myself to him because I'd seen him a few times. And the next week, he saw me at a meeting, and one thing led to another, and he asked me to be his sponsor, which is a major responsibility and honor in 12-step groups. At some point before he left, I said, if you ever want to start a business, when you get back home, I'm interested in being your partner. And I think he said, "Really?" And I said, "Really, I think you're a great guy and you're a smart guy, and just let me know."
It turned out that there was, this guy who was in Prescott who was this South Philly kid, like really, really diligent, a really hard worker, way harder of a worker than me. And so Brent was like, you're good at these things, I'm good at those things, maybe we need someone else who's good at these certain things, so let's bring Chris back. And I was like, great, because I don't want to keep getting emails from you about this stuff. So Chris came back, and it was, still to this day, the best hire we made, and Chris is a partner now.
My perspective is, my entire life in business, I've been in business since I was 18 years old. I've been looking for partnership, and I've struggled with that. And early on, working with these two guys, I felt, even though I was twice their age, I felt this connection with them, and I still feel it today. And it's hard to define, but it's an unbreakable trust and an unbreakable belief that I have in both of them, not only in their capabilities, but that they have this unbreakable trust in me. And for me, there's nothing more that propels me to success than somebody believing in me. When somebody believes in me, that basically is a recipe for success for me.
I think one of the biggest reasons, and we discuss this often, and we try to find new ways to kind of explore and continue to let it evolve, is that we try to create a connection with every individual client. And I know that a lot of facilities talk about individualized care, and the care may be individualized, but is the connection individualized? Are you finding out how to meet them on a personal level? When they come into our facility, it's usually me and AJ to take them out to lunch within the first week or two. We can teach a lot inside these rooms, but when you start to see individuals out in society and they're still living by the same principles that they're teaching in those rooms, that's where you really start to develop that connection and trust.
I use a different word, and that word is identification. And we build this process of identification between the patients and Chris and AJ. I'm not here on the floor. I call it being on the floor. Chris and AJ are on the floor all the time building this identification. Our demographic is similar to Chris and AJ's age. So they see the success that Chris and AJ are having, and not monetary, the success of sobriety, the success of a new way of life, the success of being free from the obsession to drink or use. They see this with Chris and AJ, and they're identifying with it. And so these younger people that are our core demographic, both men and women, I think, get excited about seeing what Chris and AJ are doing, and they can identify with that and possibly realize that they can do it too themselves.
We got licensed for substance abuse, and we also got licensed for co-occurring. So we treat secondary mental illness. We do a lot of different therapeutic approaches. We try to get people involved in AA and NA and different 12-step programs. We do cognitive behavioral therapy and dialectic behavioral therapy. That idea of love for another person so that they trust you, so that they have faith in you, that's something that I think that we're able to give our clients that come to Victory Bay that most places can't on an individual level, and not because they don't want to, but because they never had that experience. And that's kind of, what I take as the difference in our approach. Along with really great counselors. Our counselors are great. They are.
It's never too late to begin treatment and never too soon to start. Call Victory Bay at 888-445-0098 to begin treatment now. Thank you.